This is Cyrus calling to you from Shuffle.com. Just wanted to bring you up to date with a few things that have been happening since I last spoke to you all. First of all, I'm getting an awful lot of some comments and requests for a bit of information on how you can improve on your shuffling techniques. One of the big problems that most of the members seem to be having is the ability to glide across the floor effortlessly. And really, it's all down to two factors. It's down to the shoes you choose, and I'm going to review some of the shoes that I personally use, which I've had a lot of success with, and I'll talk about some ones I've had a bit of a failure with as well. And then also the actual product that you apply to the soles of the shoe as well, which give you that ability to slide. And again, I've got some tips for you, and basically looking at some of the things which I found work better for me than say other items as well. So if we just move on straight away, first of all, just running through these are some old faithfuls of mine. You can see how they've smoothed off over the years. They've really done their best, but I've found that in some ways, if I'm not careful, I tend to fall out of them, and so really a closed shoe is probably a better option. But certainly an open sandal like this does work well, providing you sand it down with some sort of abrasive paper, or I said apply some sort of product to the sole, which helps with the shuffling. Okay, so that's one option. Another one is the Eco range. This is a beautiful shoe. I've had fantastic success with this, and at the moment it's probably my number two shuffling shoe. My number two shuffling shoe. So moving on quickly, we've got the ultimate for me. It's the Lacoste shuffler. You can just see how streamlined it is. This one, unfortunately, has not lost any of its abrasiveness yet. There's still a great deal there to be worn off. So you do need to apply an awful lot of agent to the sole in order to make it perform as you would expect. Then finally, this, which is absolutely perfect. No tread pattern whatsoever. You can imagine you can even do a wave across the floor as well, so it really is the ultimate. And although I haven't used them professionally, in the comfort of my own home, I found these to be absolutely first class. They really are superb. So that gives you a rundown of some of the shoes that I wear. Right, now moving quickly on to some of the agents that I apply. Marmite. Now, this you have to put on copious amounts. Don't confuse it with the Vegemite. I've used the two, and this is by far, I've had the best success with this one. Just spoon it all over the sole, and it works a treat. But if you don't get Marmite in your country of origin, then look for a product which is similar. It's a yeast extract, and it's also 100% vegetarian, so you won't be killing anybody or anything in order to have your shuffling skills fine-tuned. So Marmite is one option. Another one here is a paste. This one is Tikka Masala. I've reviewed probably, or tested rather, multitude. I've gone through all the Balti range. I've gone through all the Kermas, the Madrasses, the Vindaloos. None of them really perform to the extent that this does. This is absolutely superb. So that is my recommendation to you if you're looking for something to spice up your shuffling. It's a Tikka Masala paste by Patax. So that's another option. Another one, if you're shuffling in the summer and you fancy doing it with a salad, Hellmanns. This is real mayonnaise, none of the pretend stuff that you can get palmed off with these days. Again, spooning it, ladling it probably would be better with this. Ladling it over the soles of your shuffling shoes. And this again will give you absolute incredible sliding performance. It really is superb. So It does say here, bring out the best, and I can tell you now that Hellmanns is the best, certainly for us shufflers anyway. Okay. Oils. We've looked at olive oils, I've looked at palm oils, I've looked at walnut oils, I've looked at sesame oils, all types of oils. It all comes down to sunflower. I'm afraid sunflower oil, it's probably best if you pour it over the floor rather than try and put it on your shoe. But you can buy this stuff in 5-litre containers, or it's a gallon, and just smother the floor in it, and this works an absolute treat. It's made with the goodness of over 20,000 seeds, and in my opinion, they didn't die in vain. This is absolutely perfect. This is absolutely perfect. Another option you could try if you can't get any of those, if you've got a pestle and mortar at home, then by all means pour some Heinz baked beans into the pestle and mortar, grind them up, and then pour that over your shoes. Again, that will absolutely work a treat. There are in total 57 varieties, but I only picked up the one. It's been around since 1869, which I think is roughly the same year that they introduced shuffling. So it's worked a long time. It's worked, in tandem with shuffling as well. So I think that's excellent. And it's low in GI, which is, according to this, a glycemic index. So go for your Heinz baked beans as an option. We've also got another range of choices here. On the sauces scene, this is the topping sauces that you might put on ice creams and such like. I've decided to go for chocolate. We've looked at caramel, strawberry, raspberry. In fact, we've looked at all of them. But this one certainly gave you the best glide. And probably the easiest one to remove off the soles of your shoes afterwards. The other ones were just too sticky at the end of the day, whereas the chocolate one, it just came away very easily indeed. So that's my recommendation if you're going to apply some sort of topping sauce to your shoes. Okay, what else we got here? Oh yes, hold on one moment. And we've also got a range of butters. I did look at margarines, I looked at spreads, but to be all honestly with you, a straightforward butter is probably the best option in total. This one is actually made by Devondale, but you can get a range of different butters. But any of them would be ideal. Again, applying to the soles of your shoes allows you to shuffle perfectly. So butter is a great option. Now, washing up liquids. I mean, for years and years, washing up liquids have been used in shuffling as really they were the original lubricants that people used to apply. They've come on a long way since then. If you've got a problem with odour, then I'd go for the antibacterial. Otherwise, I would just go for the straightforward. This one is actually lime and mint. We've tried a range of different flavours and smells, and we've found that lime and mint is actually the best one. And on the antibacterial side, we found that tea tree and orange were probably the best ones. So those two, if you can pick those up from your local supermarket, those are probably the best options in the washing up liquids. Furniture polishes, I mean, every time, this works every time for me. This particular one is a silicone-free one. If you can get silicone-free, so much the better. And the good thing about it, if you're doing shuffling in the comfort of your own home, if you're applying this to your timber flooring, then not only you're shuffling, but you're also polishing the floor at the same time, which I think is absolutely ideal. Which, coming on nicely, brings us on to the another option, which is a Pledge. This is a water-based product. You have to mix this with water. But again, if you want to apply that to a bucket of water, slosh it all over the floor, and this not only does it help you shuffle, but it cleans, dusts, moisturises, freshens, and cares for the floor at the same time. So again, that's a thoroughly superb product. It doesn't actually say down here that it's also can be used for shuffling, but I think you'll find it can anyway. This particular one is a 500 milliliter one, but I believe you can get them in smaller and larger quantities as well. Sunscreen. I mean, every single time me and my Shuffle crew go out, we always feel that this is the perfect addition for our shoes. Sunscreen works every single time. The only thing which I would say is don't try and apply it if you're going to wear a Shuffle shoe like that, because you can see there's a whole range of the sole there that it doesn't even going to have contact with the floor. So sunscreen won't work with something like this, but it will work with many other types of shoe that you might choose. So sunscreen is an option. Likewise, you could go for a hand and body lotion. This particular one is Santello, which comes with a fragrance of sandalwood, which again I personally find quite appealing. But you could go for a range of smells and options. But this particular one, 250 milliliter container. Almost handy enough to keep in your pocket. So I think that's about it. I hope this has given you some insight into the ways that you can improve on your shopping techniques. And this is Cyrus with the Shuffle crew on behalf of Shuffle.com. Good luck with shuffling. Speak to you soon.